Come to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
Southern Iowa, it's rodeo time. The 2025 Albia Chamber Main Street Rodeo returns Saturday, June 7th at the Monroe County Fairgrounds. Rogue Rodeo brings us 8 thrilling events, a bull ride showdown, comedy from Ronald Burton, and the dazzling Diamonds and Dust performance. Gates open at 5 p.m. for food, fun, and high-energy action await. Tickets on sale now at albiachambermainstreet.org. Adults $15 in advance, $20 at the gate. Kids only $10. Saddle up for a night of tradition and thrill. Don't miss it.
Neil. Hey, man, what's up? You want to do some radio? Radio? I haven't been on the radio for a long time. But yeah, that'd be cool. Cool.
Skunk River Radio. Let's get skunky.
This is the Jet Dealer, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
All right, before I let you go, I'm going to have you record a show intro for me. So I need one for the video version because we have a YouTube page, and then one for the audio version. So basically for the YouTube version, just say, hey, this is Trent Hammer, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio. And then for the audio, just say you're listening. So it's just...
Oh,
you're
perfect.
watching yeah, so I'll go ahead and give you a countdown for each, and we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2.
This is Trent Hammer, and you are watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Wrestling fans, if you want the best wrestling news, you want to watch Shotgun Wrestling Radio. This is James Jeffries, and tell him that I sent you there. Yeah!
Hey everybody, this is Brock Anderson, and you are watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
What's up, baby? It's Ricky Bronson, your favorite baller and beer drinker, baby, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Hey, this is Mason Grayskull, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Hey, this is Jared Thumb, and you are watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
This is Augustus Draven, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Welcome everybody to another edition of Shotgun Wrestling Radio. I'm your host, Zach Takis, and we've been very, very busy here on Shotgun Wrestling Radio. I had 2 episodes last week, one with Austin Bayless, one with Eric Bischoff. This week I got another 2 here, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in my guest at this time. She was on the show back in August of last year, and it's great to get her back because she's coming back after a whirlwind tour of Japan, which I'm super excited to talk to you about. And of course, I'm talking about the Anomaly, Kelsey Magnolia. Kelsey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's super exciting because this coming Saturday, because when I know we're recording this a week ahead of time, but I'm going to drop it on the Monday of the show week. So this coming Saturday, we are in Oskaloosa for Central Empire Wrestling, kind of our home away from home for both of us. And it's exciting because it's been a long time on a regular CEW show, not like your Bridge City Slam, that we're having women's wrestling return to Central Empire Wrestling.
Yeah, I'm always happy to work for Austin. Like you said, it is kind of a home for me. Like my first actual real wrestling gig was a Central Empire show, so I am very excited.
And it's funny you mentioned that because Austin brought that up in the podcast that we did last week too, where he had mentioned that you were one of his first, and it's pretty cool to think of that in that sense. And then here you are just coming back from, like I said, a whirlwind Japan experience.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that. So what was that trip like for you?
It was incredible. It was life-changing in so many ways. I mean, I had never left the country before, never ridden on a subway or a train, I've done buses, but not really like this. So outside of wrestling, there was so much to learn. But then within wrestling, it's just, I said this a lot when I was there, but it was like I was living in a dream. Like it still feels like a dream just thinking about it.
Now, the one thing that I always think is interesting about Japan, you always hear about like all the really awesome like shops they have. Like you'll find stuff that you just can't find here. Were you able to go to any of those and find some neat little gems?
Oh yeah. I mean, I bought a big duffel bag just to bring souvenirs and stuff back, and
That's
I
awesome.
was packed to the brim. I couldn't bring anything else back with me. If I would have had to buy another suitcase. But there's a used wrestling shop. Well, they have new stuff too, but Tuticon is the name of it. And they have masks and shirts and programs and posters and ticket stubs and everything pro wrestling related. And I went at least 3 times to that shop, probably more, because it took me like 20 minutes to get there from where I lived. So I was just like, why not go in and see what crazy? Like I got some All Japan playing cards, just like random stuff, but it was so cool.
Did you go to any of like the each like bootleg shops? I know you can get all kinds of like weird video game systems over there too. Did you check out any of those?
I did not really dip into, I can't remember what it's called, like Book Off or something like that. I can't remember. I didn't get into that. I just didn't want, I could have been just shopping all day. Like I could have just easily just bought souvenirs and collectibles and everything. So I really did have to try to just kind of tone it down a little bit in that regard because I mean, yeah, Japan's incredible. Like, and I was just in the Tokyo area. I didn't get outside of Tokyo at all. So
Right.
there's a whole rest of the country to explore one day.
And of course, we can't talk about Japan without talking about the food, especially when you compare it to like the Chinese food over here. I'm a big fan of Chinese food, so I'm just curious as how you would compare it now, and if you think when you go to eat Chinese food over here, you're gonna look at it much differently.
Yeah, I mean, I was never really into sushi at all before I went, and I didn't really eat too much of it when I was there, but I had a lot of ramen, like a lot of ramen and gyoza and everything so affordable food-wise. Like you can get, and even just like, I mean, everybody talks about the konbinis, like the convenience stores, your 7-Eleven, Family Mart, Lawson. They have good food there, like legit good food. So outside of just restaurants and little places, you can just go to the convenience store and get good stuff. So, and affordable, very, very affordable.
So when you finally got over there, went to your first show. Like you walk into the arena, you're starting to meet people. What was that like? Was it a really hard for your language barrier for you, or had you been trying to learn some Chinese before you went over there so you could at least try to pick up a little bit?
It was definitely difficult. Ice Ribbon is the promotion that I work for and wrestled for over there, and they have a kind of a liaison for foreign talent. Her name is Yappy. She's from the Philippines, but has lived in Japan for like 12, maybe even more years than that. So she speaks English as well. So she's trilingual, which is just insane. So she kind of just walks me through helping with that. But yeah, it's very intimidating. It's very intimidating being the only foreigner in the dojo. I mean, they were all very nice and welcoming, but yeah, it's scary. You don't know what you're getting into over here with shows like that. But being in a whole brand new country with entirely new people, it was scary, but very welcoming as well.
Now, when you finally had your first like big match over there, what was the difference like from the crowd? Because I've heard their crowds over there can be very different, and they're a lot harder to impress over there, from what I've heard.
Yeah, the crowds are very different. The Ice Ribbon Dojo, which is where they train, and they also put shows on there. Most weekends they'll have a dojo show, but they also do road shows like Yokohama and other places like that. But it's very small. The dojo is very small. I mean, full capacity for a crowd in there, like maybe 50 people you can fit. And it's very male heavy, the crowd, like lots of men, not very many kids. Like there were a few young girls in the crowd, but they were also training with Ice Ribbon. And so that was one of the biggest differences for me, because like over here, every show I work is a family show. Like I haven't even worked a bar show or like an over 21 show. So everything's family friendly. So it's very different to just not have that energy out there. And they are quieter. They're super into it. It's just a different way of being into wrestling. So
would you say, compared to over here too, would you say there was a little learning curve in the style? Because I know the style can be different. Was it a lot stiffer? Like, and even too, talk about what the ring was like over there. Compared to the rings over here.
Joshi wrestling, which is Japanese women's wrestling, has its own style. Like there is a Joshi way of doing things. There's a Joshi way of body slamming. There's a Joshi way of hitting the ropes, taking a drop kick, all of that. So that's one thing, which I'd watch Joshi. Like I was really into like the older stuff, like Dump and Bull and all that. But they also have different names for moves as well. So like just a regular suplex, just a normal suplex over here, brain buster. They call it a brain buster over there. So I was like, well, what do you call a brain buster when you do it? So yeah, lots of different things like that. Big learning curve. The ice ribbon ring is very different. Like, I mean, I'm not sure how much everyone of your listeners knows how the rings are really put together, but the Japanese ones had a big spring in the middle underneath, and it had wires from each corner, each side. Like there was a lot of fine tuning for the ring, and they would like take the tension out of the ropes and everything underneath every night. So there's always a process of like getting the ring set back up, setting it back down, like lots of tradition and lots of this is how you do things in Japan. Lots of rules.
That's interesting you mentioned springs, because yeah, you see the rings over here. I've been able to help on a few ring setups, and I know I'll be helping next week on Saturday at the ring setup too. And we don't have no springs underneath our rings. I can guarantee you that.
I've seen one kind of like the ice ribbon one in the States, but it's still very different, and lots of parts. Like when we would do road shows, there's the ring that they have in the dojo, and then they have a road ring as well. So we'd have to set that up, and those Japanese girls are tiny, and they are just hauling big poles and cross beams and everything, and I'm just like getting blown up trying to help just set the ring up, but they get it done.
So coming up here this Saturday, again, the Central Empire Wrestling is going to be back in action at the Penn Central Mall. I'm super excited for this one. It's my first mall show to go to, so I'm super excited. Have you wrestled in a mall type atmosphere before? From what Austin and everybody's told me, the atmosphere there is just an absolutely great time. And I know just from watching the videos of the past shows, I'm like, I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
I have not wrestled in a shopping mall or anything like it, so I am super excited. When I first saw he was doing shows at the mall, I was like, I gotta get on one. I have to get on one of those. Like, it's so fun. I mean, I know malls aren't, what they used to be, but they still got that nostalgia factor to them. And if I could like rollerblade my way down to the ring, that'd be pretty cool.
Well, I'm pretty sure, because he was telling me the other day that they actually do have stores in the mall too, so I'm curious. I'm curious to see what's still in the mall store wise when we're there setting up, because the mall will be open while we're there setting up. So I'll be curious to see what's going to be there. What's there shopping wise. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, you're coming up against Sage Hale, who's no stranger to obviously Iowa and the Midwest scene. Have you had much interaction with the Hale twins at all?
I